come out this morning to make some video about Loi Krathong, just riding around and seeing what I can find. I thought I'd drop in at the temple, stop in and visit our staff from Dal because she's making some krathong, and these guys down by the bridge were surprised to find. I thought they'd just be setting up some lights and stuff down here, maybe some stage or some lanterns and things, but there's a bit of a bonus to video for me today because they're actually making the fireworks that they'll be letting off later this evening. And they've got all kinds of powders and things that they're mixing together really carefully, some brightly coloured ones, some that are just look like very sort of metallic powders and things like that. I have no idea what it is, and I don't have enough language to be able to ask them and understand it. And they seem quite relaxed, quite interested that I'm wanting to make video. They don't mind me videoing them at all. So I've managed to get some really cool video of them working away and just having a lovely time together, just chatting and talking. There's one dude without a hand. It looks like he's lost his hand somewhere along the line, but I don't know whether it was fireworks related or not. I'm not sure if I should ask him. But there you go. This is rural life in northern Thailand at Loi Krathong. Later this evening, this whole area down here is going to be packed with people. There's a bit of a stage set up here. There's no doubt going to be a huge amount of drinking and partying and dancing going on with a lot of loud music and that. So I'll be bringing my camera back again later on and making some video of the festivities later this evening as well. These guys were really well set up on the road next to the bridge. They had a couple of gazebos there and all the tools, all the bits and pieces they needed. And they were busy filling some of the bamboo pieces, and other guys were measuring out the right amount of powder, weighing it carefully. Some of them seemed to know more than others how much was needed and what was required, but others were just following instructions and learning. Others were still pounding the powder in a huge mortar, but everybody had the job to do, and they were all working well together. This one guy was still making the structures to hold the bamboo, so like they're a framework, a jig, I guess, to hold the bamboo in place. And so he was busy welding these. There wasn't a whole lot of safety gear in sight. There was a bunch of guys wearing masks, but that was about it. The guy welding didn't have any eye protection on. Others were mixing the powders together just with their bare hands, no gloves to be used. I hate to think what that powder's doing to their skin. It was a wonderful atmosphere. It was great fun down there. I felt very welcomed, as I usually do in these areas. And they were quite happy for me to be videoing and taking photos and just being there having a chat. And they were telling me bits and pieces about what they were doing, and definitely wanted to make sure that I would be there in the evenings. So I assured them that I will be. And this is one of the pieces of bamboo that has been prepared, and they're still working on it to clamp it down to hold it tight before they started to fill it with the gunpowder and the mixture, and then that gets tamped down. So they seem to be putting in just a little bit at a time and then carefully and gently tamping it down because it's not exactly safe. This guy started a bit hard, and the older gentleman next to him said, no, come on, slow down, do it gently. I've seen this process once before, way up in an Aka village up in the mountains, and the guy that I was with then said it's actually quite a dangerous process. After all, it is making gunpowder. So it seemed to be going to take quite a long time to prepare all of these, but I imagine that they'll be sitting there under the shade, under their gazebos all day. And there was a few bottles of the local Loi Krathong, the rice whiskey that they make. Some of it had some herbs soaking in it, others had some fruit soaking in it. So I'm sure that they'll be enjoying that while they work. And then over on the bridge, there was another group of people who were decorating the bridge with lanterns. They got bamboo poles and lots of wire, and they were wrapping the poles up and popping the lanterns up along the bridge to make it all very, very festive for this evening. It should be a lot of fun down there. Whoa! And from there I went up to Kuntal's house. Kuntal is our helper at the shop and here at home, and we knew that she was going to be making some krathong, so I thought I'll pop up and see her making them. I thought I might have seen this happening at some of the temples, but there didn't seem to be anybody at the MacLeod temple. But I knew I'd be able to capture this action with Kuntal making the krathong. She said she's been doing it for about 8 years now, and I asked her where she learned to make them. She said, from YouTube. It's like you can learn anything you like from YouTube. It's wonderful. Tao tầm thuốc pì nữa. Hả? Tầm thuốc pì nữa.
Tầm thuốc pì hả?
Sân nữa.
One day.
So she was sitting there with all the things she needed, which is mostly pieces of the banana plant. The main part of the structure is a section of banana trunk, and then here she is, she's folding the banana leaves and stapling them and decorating the piece of trunk to make a small raft. And then on top of this, she's adding other decorative things like flowers and then some candles and incense. She was also making some really cool ones with thinly sliced pieces of papaya. Some green papaya and some ripe papaya, and they just look really, really pretty. They're really gorgeous. So we'll buy a couple of these off her and float them in the river later this evening with everybody else. And then I stopped at a local restaurant for lunch. The lady there was also making krathong while she was in between customers. And then I went up to the temple in our village, and there wasn't much happening, but there was a few locals there, and they told me that there was going to be some celebration at the temple starting at about 6 o'clock, and that they were making this thing. And one of the guys showed me a photo of it, but I couldn't make out what it was. But then as I was returning home, I saw this thing that he'd told me about in the front yard of these people. So I stopped and said hi and came in and made some video of it. I still don't know what it is, but it's going to burn because it's Loi Krathong, and that's what happens at Loi Krathong. They burn things. And this thing is packed with really resinous, finely cut wood that we usually use for kindling when we're starting the barbecue or the pizza oven. And so it is going to burn something fierce. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but be sure to stay tuned for the next video because I'll be taking the cameras down there tonight and making another video about the festivities to follow up with this one. Thanks for watching.